Okay, right. Well, I'm going to hand over to Nicolas Sauvage, President of TDK Ventures, who's going to give us his opening remarks on the event, followed by Jim, CEO of GCV. So Nicolas, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is a privilege to open the GCV Symposium here in London, and to do so as the chair of the GCV Advisory Board. I want to start with a sentence that may sound strange in this room. It is one I shared in Monterey earlier this year. I do not care about corporate venture capital. I care about entrepreneurs. I care about the people who are building the companies that may define the future of energy, compute, robotics, health, materials, industrial resilience, mobility, climate, and security. I care about whether we help them become more successful. Because corporate venture capital is not the protagonist of this story. Entrepreneurs are. They take the risk before the market agrees. They build what does not yet exist. They turn technical insights into companies. They turn companies into products, and they turn products into impact. Our role is different. Our role is to increase their probability of success, accelerate their success. If we cannot do that, we should not be in this room. In Monterey, I used the image of Yin and Yang to describe what great corporate venturing needs to become. That image resonates because we all feel the same tension. We need financial discipline and strategic relevance, not one or the other. We need venture speed and corporate patience. We need independence from the mothership and intimacy with the mothership. We need ambition and humility. We need to behave like venture capitalists while bringing what venture capital alone usually cannot bring. Customers, technical depth, industrial scale, market access, and long-term strategic commitment. If we only bring capital, we are not differentiated. If we only bring strategy, we are not credible. If we only serve the parent company, entrepreneurs feel used. If we only serve entrepreneurs, the corporation lose conviction. Sorry, I think there are multiple microphones. The craft of CVC is to hold these tensions at the same time, not as a compromise, but as a system. And that system is becoming more important. AI is compressing technology cycles. Industrial transformation is becoming more capital intensive. Think about energy, compute, robotics, materials, infrastructure, and supply chains are no longer abstract themes. They are boardroom priorities. So in this world, corporations cannot afford to learn about the future only when the future is already obvious. By then, it is too late. And the best entrepreneurs are no longer asking, who will invest in my company? They're asking way better questions. Who can help me accelerate? Who can help me validate or invalidate? Who can help me find the first customer, the first factory, the first deployment, the first strategic partner, the first proof that my project can scale? That is where CVC can and should matter, but only if we are good enough. The next decade of CVC will not be defined by how many CVC units exist. It will be defined by how many CVCs deserve to exist. That is a higher standard. So I would put 5 priorities in front of our industry. First, evidence over activity. Meetings are not impact. Introductions are not impact. Investments are not impact. Press releases are not impact. Impact is when a portfolio company becomes stronger because we are involved. Impact is when a corporate parent sees around the corner earlier because we listened to entrepreneurs before consensus arrived. Impact is when a business unit becomes a real customer, alpha customer. Impact is when a startup learns how to work with an enterprise without being suffocated by it. Impact is when financial discipline and strategic value reinforce each other. We need to move from activity to evidence. Second priority, activations over access. For years, CVCs wanted access to entrepreneurs. Access is no longer enough. Access has become easier. Activation is still very hard. The best CVCs of the next decade will not only invest when, they will translate when. They will translate startup urgency into corporate relevance. They will translate corporate complexity into usable pathways for funders. They will translate technology signals into strategic choices. They will translate a first conversation into a real deployment, a real customer, a real learning loop, a real advantage. That is why platform, venture clienting, and portfolio company value creation matter. And it matters a great deal. Not as marketing, but as an operating layer of strategic venture capital. Third priority is discipline over hype. This matters especially in deep tech, hardware, infrastructures, and industrial transformation, where TDK and TDK Ventures are in the front row. Hype cycles are dangerous. They make capital feel easy precisely when discipline matters most. In physical and industrial startups, burn rate is not a spreadsheet detail. It is strategy. Capital efficiency is not lack of ambition. It is how ambition survives long enough to matter. As corporate investors, we can be patient, but patience must not become complacency. We can support long horizon technologies, but we must stay rigorous about milestones, dilution, technical risk, customer validation, and paths to scale. Founders do not need tourists in frontier technology. They need serious partners. Fourth priority would be standards over scale. Corporate venture capital has matured, thanks to GCV and many people in the room. But maturity is not excellence. A profession needs standards. It needs training. It needs benchmarking. It needs research. It needs shared language. It needs honest discussion about what good looks like, what bad looks like, and what damages reputation of all of us it creates when we don't know the difference. This is where GCV matters. Thank you, Jim, and your team for all you do for us. This community gives us a mirror. It gives us peers. It gives us a place to compare notes, challenge assumptions, learn from each other, benchmark honestly, and raise the standards together. This is the value of membership. We do not come here in this beautiful place. Do you agree it's a beautiful place? Yeah? Sure. We do not come here to meet people. We come here to become better at the work, and the work matters. Fifth priority is syndicates over silos. For too long, some VCs dismissed us, CVCs, as slow, conflicted, and or unreliable. Some CVC underestimated the discipline, speed, pattern recognition, and portfolio construction craft of financial VCs. both sides were partly right, to be honest, and both sides were incomplete. The future is not VCs versus CVCs. The future is better syndicates serving entrepreneurs better. VCs bring speed, independence, financial discipline, and company building pattern. This recognition pattern is really important. CVCs bring market access, technical insights, customer pathway, industrial credibility, and strategic scale. When these forces compete for ego, entrepreneurs lose. But when they work together with trust and discipline, respect, entrepreneurs get something more powerful than capital. They get the system. That is the yin and the yang of venture. So, as we start this symposium, I would ask each of us 5 questions that we can keep talking about this for the next 2 days. Are we making entrepreneurs more successful? Or are we mainly satisfying our own internal processes? Are we translating startup signals into corporate decisions early enough to matter? Are we bringing measurable value to portfolio companies beyond our investment, beyond capital? Are we disciplined enough to survive hype, down cycles, and corporate strategy changes? And last but not least, are we raising the standard in this profession? Or are we only optimizing our own unit? Because I believe we are at an inflection point, corporate venture capital is no longer just a bridge between startups and corporations. Done well, it can become an operating system for industrial renewal. It can help corporations learn faster. It can help entrepreneurs scale smarter. It can help venture capital build stronger syndicates. It can help society bring important technology into the world sooner, with more resilience and more impact. But that will not happen automatically. We have to earn it. So my hope for these 2 days is simple. Let us not only discuss what is changing, let us decide what must change. Let us not only celebrate the growth of corporate venture capital, as we discussed yesterday, more than 3,000 corporate VCs that GCV tracks. I personally think in 10 years it could be 10 times that number. We are not prepared for that growth. We are not. So let us raise the standards for what it means to be worthy of the entrepreneur's time and their allocation in their cap table. Because entrepreneurs are building the future. Our responsibility is to help them build better. Thank you.